talked about Hellboy the Crooked Man, which was supposed to be a cinematic release. It ended up going to video on demand. We tried to get it. We tried to make it to talk to them during San Diego Comic-Con. We were unable to.
I think the boy screwed us.
Huh?
I think that was
there
one
was
of
a
those
lot
that the
going
boy,
on, and sometimes
stuff.
you miss things.
Yeah.
But with the announcement the movie was going to video on demand, a lot of people were like, "Well, this is what it deserves," and it doesn't look as. I rented it, not rented. I bought it through Prime Video and watched it last night when I got home, and it is not a great movie. It is definitely low budget. It is exactly what it looks like. But there is an artistic feel to this movie. And I have to say, it is, as a fan of the comic books, it is the most accurate representation of Hellboy I have seen on screen. And that carries weight with me. Because we've seen Del Toro did a fine job with Hellboy, with his big budget production, but it wasn't the character. They went in a different direction. This felt like Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, had his hands directly in it the whole time. Low budget, maybe, but it kind of goes along with some of the artwork that I'm used to seeing in Hellboy comics. Horror, absolutely. This thing was terrifying. It was scary. The effects for what they did, it seems like they put some work into it. Yes, it was not on the high-end budget of all these other films out there. But the heart was there. The guy that played Hellboy, that actor, I'm sorry, I don't
Jack
have...
Key.
Jack Keys. He was good as Hellboy. He nailed it. He nailed what Hellboy should be like. Very sarcastic, droll. He said crap. He smoked cigarettes over cigars. I think if they had just taken the budget and given him like the solid red eyes like Hellboy, visually we would have been there. Because everything else that I saw was Hellboy. The story was good. The story was terrifying. It was a well-written movie. I can't deny that. The actors in it, it's a small cast movie, and I like small cast movies.
Same.
A lot of practical effects because it seems like that's what they were doing with the budget they had. So I have to tell you, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I would go ahead and give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Wow.
Because it was a true horror movie, and that's something that
that's what Hellboy should be.
Yes,
and
this is
Del
what
Toro did not commit fully.
No, this was a horror Hellboy, and also with the story that they were adapting, it needed to be some good horror. So I have to say kudos. These people did a fine job with this movie.
Nice.
I enjoyed it. I kind of need to rewatch it.
Okay.
Because I want to see other things. It's been a rough week for me. I've got some other stuff going on. And I really want to give it its due. Maybe look at it on a larger screen and just kind of watch it on my computer.
Yeah.
But I did feel obligated. I paid money for this movie. I paid full $20.
Yeah.
And bought it on Prime Video so I could watch it. Because I'm still curious.
Yeah.
Because when we saw it at first, I was like, I'm interested.
I was extremely skeptical.
It's
I've seen the Del
look.
Toro. I've seen the Del Toro. I didn't watch the David Harbour. I heard it was bad and has a very low rating. So like I wasn't overly optimistic. I will say, looking at it now, the director and writer of this movie created and developed Happy, one of the most up television shows I've ever seen, and I do believe based on a comic about.
I don't remember.
I think it's based on like a kind of obscure, and don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. But yeah, about Christopher Maloney and working with his daughter's imaginary friend. It is one of the most gory TV shows I've ever seen.
Honestly,
so like, and Hellboy deserves a certain amount of that.
And some of the horror that you guys have shown me.
Yeah.
The reason I was like, this seems right up their alley. This is the kind of horror that y'all usually invest your time into. There are some truly like visually explicit scenes.
Like body?
There's some
body horror? Okay.
Yeah. There's some uncomfortable scenes.
Yeah.
And for what they were working with, fine job.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there's still things they could have done better, but probably budget-wise.
Yeah.
But I think it really felt like a comic.
And that's also something that, like, horror, you have to get used to different production. Not production value, but just money, less money spent. And once you get used to that, I think it kind of broadens what you think is interesting and what you think is good.
So anyway, yeah, Hellboy the Crooked Man, straight, I will give it 7 out of 10. Just for the heart in the movie.
It's quite good.
And the most accurate representation of Hellboy I've seen.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie. It's worth checking out.